what I see right now is what always happens in government. You see, Dan Bongino went in as a trustworthy guy, someone who said they were going to root out the deep state, all the fraud, corruption, the pedophiles, all those people. And then so far, like none of that happened. And what I see right now is a lot of gaslighting and projection that's happening from Dan Bongino, because as
Angry,
one of our ex-followers posted out, maybe echoing things that we've said before, people in the government cannot admit when they do something wrong. Because then when you admit you did something wrong, that means they're just regular people who can mess up. And once you start looking at those people as regular people who can mess up, you start thinking, well, should I allow these people to have all this power? They're just regular people. Doesn't mean they're better than everyone else. And so instead, what he's done, which he could have just came out and said, hey, I'm sorry, the deep state, super deep, super powerful. I know we didn't get everything done that so far this year that you guys wanted done. I'm sorry about that. And the FBI has decided that I will be more useful behind the microphone. And so he comes out and he apologizes for that. Instead, what he's done is he's gone out on the attack. And so anyone who's criticizing what hasn't been done or criticizing things that have been done that they didn't like, they've become the enemy now. Which makes me think he's maybe still on the payroll. I'm not really sure.
Well, also, okay, I want everyone to think about this, because this happens a lot in politics, and people just need to be aware of it. And I think a lot of you are.
This is us not talking about Dan Bongino.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it overall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that Dan Bongino should have came out and said exactly this, but he could have done a number of things that isn't what he's currently doing, where you would know that he's telling the truth. You can tell that he's not telling the truth, because if he were telling the truth, and let's say there was nothing there, okay, there's no there. This is a big nothing pimento cheese sandwich, okay?
I like pimento cheese.
Me too.
Yeah.
Not a nothing one, though, if it's like...
Oh, there's nothing there?
Yeah. If
those are the worst kind.
Those are the worst
sandwiches, yeah.
He would come out and say, look, I'm sorry this didn't happen, but and I understand why everybody's frustrated, but I can promise you there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. I wish there was something there because I thought there was something there, and I did everything I could to dig on it, but it turns out there wasn't really anything there.
He sort of said that a little bit, but still it's in this very much like there's nothing there. Trust me, bro.
But what I'm saying is
trust me, bro, it's not there.
He would even be understanding of the criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, this is what happens when lies get questioned. It turns out into a crash out moment. You go beyond just the conversation and you start calling names or bringing in people's family members and all kinds of stuff to distract from the actual thing that's happening. Okay. You bring up other problems that exist. It's like if I ask Nate about the truth or lie, and then he starts talking about, how I showed up late to the podcast. It's like, no, you're changing the subject, and you're getting mad at me now for something completely unrelated to what we're talking about. And
because you don't want to talk about the thing I brought up because it's true and everyone else does too.
Exactly. So I just want you guys to keep in mind as you analyze all this stuff, you read this stuff, you see things coming out. I know a lot of you do that already because you listen to the show, you understand the truth. But you can utilize these tools in your regular life, and also know when your politicians are lying to you. Trump did the same thing, by the way. We talked about this whenever Trump was asked about it during his cabinet meeting. Well, they asked Pam Bondi, and then Trump jumped in and was like, Epstein. You want to talk about Epstein? That pathetic sicko, Look at all these great things we're doing that you're distracting from. So let me point out a problem that you have.
Yeah,
you're distracting from the greatest economy ever built. And if I had little hands, I could put them up.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can just start to notice these things, and okay, they're lying. It's just lying. They're
politicians. That's what they're going to do.
Gaslighting. It's manipulating.